Hello, my dear students. I welcome you all to your Vedantu Accountancy class. Very good evening to all of you. Start joining and start telling me if you all able to see me, hear me, or not. Very good evening to all of you. How are you all today? This is going to be a session on one shot of retirement of a partner. Start marking your attendance by liking the session. Start telling me if you all able to see me, hear me, or not. Yeah. So let's quickly start because today we have to revise in one shot. Hello, Ram Lakhan Jaiswal. Hello, ji. So in today's one shot, we are going to revise retirement of a partner. The full chapter, we are going to take the revision in this session. So start joining, start telling me if you're all able to see me, hear me, or not. Start marking your attendance by liking the session. I'm telling you all that this is a session on retirement of a partner, one shot. Yeah, one shot on retirement of a partner. One shot on retirement है ना retirement of a partner जी हाँ retirement of a partner in one shot we are going to revise it today okay जी okay. Okay, then let's start. Let's start quickly without wasting any time because we have a lot to cover and there are many topics in retirement of a partner. What is the worth of this chapter for your examination purpose, beta? There will be a 6 marker question. There are chances of 6 marker question sometimes, right? This video is going to be almost a 1 hour video, 1 hour session. This is so 6 marker question you get from this chapter. Sometimes MCQs, of course, 2-3 MCQs. So sometimes 6 marks of question will admission choice. That is what you get from this chapter, है ना? And this time this is not in the sample paper, but majorly from past years, 6 marker question, right? Full-fledged question you all are getting from this chapter. Ram ji. So MCQs also you get from this chapter. Sometimes a 3 marker and a 4 marker also from this chapter. So yes, this is a very important chapter which you all can't skip in any ways. You know. So what is retirement of a partner? Let's talk about that. Retirement of a partner means that the partner, right? One of the partner who was in the firm ceases to be a partner. Retirement का मतलब क्या है? That one of the yeah, it's an option. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what it says that retirement of a partner means retiring partner ceases to be a partner. That there were 3 partners, right? That there were 3 partners in a business firm, and one of the partner decided to retire. Right? One of the partner decided to retire. One of the partner decided that they are one of the other partner. Maybe this partner got old or maybe this partner got bored. But the partner decided that partner wants to retire. Partner wants to leave the firm. So that is what retirement means. Retirement of a partner means one of the partners ceases to be partner, but firm continues with the remaining continuing partners. And if one of the partner has retired, so the other firm, the other partners are going to continue the firm as it is. Yes or no? So retiring of a partner means reconstitution of a partnership firm. So whenever any partner retires, whenever any partner joins in, whenever we change the profit sharing ratio, that comes under reconstitution. Reconstitution means old agreement comes to an end and new agreement comes into existence. That the old agreement we are going to tear out and we are going to enter into a new agreement. New agreement. This is what happens in retirement of a partner. Yes or no? Yeah, got the meaning of retirement of a partner. The video is going to be a bit quick. So yeah, tell me if there is any problem. Hmm. Yeah, you all can see that existing partners, there are some partners which are going to still exist and the retiring partner goes and retires. A partner may retire from the firm. What would be the reasons behind the retirement? You know, why would a partner retire? If there is an agreement to that effect, that there was some agreement, there was some plan, right? There was some agreement, there was some plan that this partner should retire after this much term or this much period, this much tenure. So partner is retiring on that basis. Reason number two, if all partners agree to his retirement, that if all the partners agree that he should retire by now, then he can retire. If he gives a written notice that I want to retire right? If he gives a written notice and his decision to other partners that I want to retire, it's my age and I don't want to work anymore, or could be any other personal reason. So yeah, then also the partner can retire, right? So what is the liability of a partner? So whatever he has done or whatever is the part of the business till the date of his retirement, right? A retiring partner remains liable for all his acts, whatever was done till the date of his retirement, right? Whatever transactions may he was involved, right, till the date of his retirement, he is liable for that. However, a retiring partner may be discharged from his liability by an agreement between himself, third party, and continuing partner. So, yeah, he can discharge himself from the liability by making an agreement, right, between himself and other partners. But yeah, he has to do that. Otherwise, he is responsible for all the acts which were followed or which were done till the time he was in the firm, right? So, this is what is his liability is. Right? What topics we have in this chapter, Beta? What topics we have? We have almost similar topics to your previous chapter, admission and your change in PSR. First is, yeah, we will need to calculate a new PSR and gaining ratio, right? Uh, and valuation of goodwill, right? Of course, if a partner is retiring, what happens to goodwill? Revaluation account creation, what happens to reserves and profits, and what amount, if there is any amount due to retiring partner, how to compute it, and payment to retiring partner, and then adjustment of capital. So all these topics come under the chapter. So we are going to cover these topics, but we will be taking these topics very quickly because these topics are the topics which are same from the change in PSR admission, right? Yeah, change in PSR and admission have been discussed, beta. Yes. They have already been discussed on the channel. We have a playlist created for one-shot videos. You can go in that and you'll be able to find the chapters from fundamentals. So let's start with the first step, that how to calculate ratio in retirement of a partner. So yes, what is the old ratio? The ratio before retirement is old ratio. Ratio after retirement is new ratio. Of the remaining partners, it is new ratio. Old ratio is the ratio before retirement. Right. So AB decided to share profits in the future 3 to 2. So this is the new ratio. 3 to 2 to 1 is the old ratio. Okay. So the ratio before retirement is the old ratio. The ratio after retirement is new ratio. Yes or no? So what happens, beta, when a partner retires? Let me tell you that if there are three partners already, and one of the partner is retiring, right? One of the partner is retiring. So if this partner is retiring, yeah, if this partner is retiring, right? If this partner is retiring, of course, his share will be taken by these two partners, yes or no? Whatever was his share in the profit, let's say 100 rupees they were earning and they were dividing it 30, 40 and 30. Now if this partner retires, this 30 will now be distributed among these two partners only, na? Yes or no? So new profit sharing ratio of continuing partner is equals to old profit share plus profit share taken. So what will be their new share? Whatever share they already had plus the share they took from retiring partner. Yes or no? So, what are the cases? New PSR ratio calculation cases are much easier in retirement than admission. In admission, there were number of cases, but in retirement, there are lesser cases, right? The new profit sharing ratio is not given. If the new profit sharing ratio is not given, and if you take the profit share in specified ratio, very easy. This one is very easy and important. That when one partner retires and nothing is specified, right? When partner retires and nothing is specified in the question, so what are we going to do? If nothing is specified, let's say if old ratio was 1 is to 2 is to 1 and C retires, okay, C retires. This is old ratio. And if nothing is specified, what are we going to do? We are going to cut the ratio of C, 1 is to 2 becomes the new ratio. दिस इज व्हाट हैपेंस इफ नथिंग इज स्पेसिफाइड, है ना? अगर कुछ नहीं दिया हुआ बेटा, 2:2:1 आपका रेशियो है, सी रिटायर हो गया, तो नया रेशियो क्या बन गया? 2:2, उसका कट कर दो, जो पार्टनर रिटायर हो जाता है उसका शेयर कट कर दीजिए. Yes or no? This is how you are going to read the chapter. Okay जी. So next is another example, x y z per partner sharing profits and losses in the ratio 1 upon 2, 2 upon 5, 1 upon 10. So this is also old ratio given to you. Apart from that, nothing is specified. Just y retires, this is specified. So we will equalize the denominators first, right? We will equalize the denominators first. So our ratio turns out to be 5 is to 4 is to 1. X, Y, Z. Y is retiring. So X is to Z means 5 is to 1 will be our new ratio. Okay. 5 is to 1 will be our new ratio. Whoever is retiring, his share we will cut and the remaining becomes our new ratio. Right? So case number 2 says when the remaining partners take profit share in any agreed ratio. So if it is specified in what ratio they are taking, then we are going to divide or multiply in that particular ratio. For example, that EBC are partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio 5 is to 3 is to 2. Question बोल रहा है कि the ratio is in 5 is to 3 is to 2. His profit share is taken by A and C in the ratio 2 is to 1. So they are saying that EBCR partner sharing profits and losses in the ratio 5 is to 3 is to 2. His share is taken by, okay. So B's share, right? B's share 3 upon 10 is taken by the partners in 2 is to 1 ratio, right? 3 upon 10 is taken by the partners in the ratio 2 is to 1, right? So you are going to multiply 3 upon 10 in 2 is to 1. 3 upon 10 in 2 is to 1. So this is what they are going to take, right? This is what they are going to take. Now this share you are going to add in their old share. है ना? तो ये वो हिस्सा है बेटा जो वो ले रहे हैं उसके शेयर का, है ना? 3/10 था बी का हिस्सा, तो बी के हिस्से को उन्होंने बांट लिया 2:1 में. अब वो 2:1 का उन्होंने ये निकल कर आया 6/30, 3/30, तो उनके शेयर में आप ऐड कर दो, राइट? ओल्ड रेशियो में आप उनके ऐड कर दो. देखो जी कितना प्रॉफिट टेकन बाय सी आउट ऑफ बी शेयर इज 1/10, कट करके वो आ जाएगा, ठीक है? उसमें ऐड कर दो तो ये 3/10 बन जाएगा. एंड सेम ही आप दूसरे पार्टनर का भी कर दोगे कैलकुलेट, राइट? What is gaining ratio? Gaining ratio is no. No means new ratio minus old ratio, right? Gaining ratio calculation has got some cases. New ratio minus old ratio gives you gaining ratio. Okay. So gaining ratio case 1 is when information is not given or agreement does not exist. Right? Gaining ratio is when information is not given. Okay, beta, if there is no information, case 1 of gaining ratio. If there is no information given to you, what are you going to do? The old ratio becomes the gaining ratio. Yeah. So whatever the partner retire, his share we are going to cut. The remaining becomes the gaining ratio as well as the new ratio. So अगर कुछ इन्फॉर्मेशन क्वेश्चन में ना दी गई हो, है ना, अगर कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन क्वेश्चन में ना दी गई हो और एक पार्टनर रिटायर हो रहा है, तो जो रिटायरिंग पार्टनर है उसका शेयर आप कट कर दोगे, बाकी बचा कुचा शेयर जो है उनका न्यू शेयर बन जाएगा. यस और नो? या क्लियर? नेक्स्ट पार्ट, that when new profit sharing ratio is given. अगर आपको new profit sharing ratio दिया है, old ratio दिया है, तो use the formula, right? If you have new ratio, old ratio, then use the formula of gain. Easy peasy. Okay ji. Okay ji. So you all can see that if the old ratio is given and new ratio is given, then we can directly use the formula for gain. Gain is equals to new ratio minus old ratio. If you all are feeling that ma'am one shot revisions you are taking very quickly, so beta we have chapter wise topic wise sessions also in the playlist separately. You all can watch that. Okay ji, clear? Next, gaining ratio case 3. When retiring partner profit share is taken by remaining partner or continuing partner in specific ratio. So when we take his share, when we are taking the retiring partner share in any particular ratio. So what are we going to do that? In that we are going to find the new profit sharing ratio by taking the old profit share plus the gained share. Whatever the old partners or the remaining partners they have gained, that will be added to their old shares, है ना, क्योंकि जो रिटायर हो रहा है वो तो चला जाएगा, अब उसका शेयर ये लोग आपस में बांट के अपने शेयर को इंक्रीज कर लेंगे, तो इनके ओल्ड शेयर में आप उसका शेयर ऐड कर दोगे, जो भी वहां से हम लेकर आएंगे, वहां से क्या लेकर आएंगे वो क्वेश्चन बताएगा, है ना। जैसे ये देखो दिव्या, विकास और वरुण थे, ठीक है, विकास रिटायर हो गया एंड उसने 1/, अपने शेयर का फ्रॉम यानी कि 1/9 माइनस करना है उसके शेयर में से, दिव्या को दे दिया और रिमेनिंग दे दिया वरुण को, तो देखो कितना होगा, जैसे उसने अपने 1/9 शेयर उसने दिया है दिव्या को, बाकी वरुण को दिया होगा 172, तो ये तो सैक्रिफाइस हो गया उसका 8:1, राइट। अच्छा, अब इनको मिल रहा है कितना कितना, 1/9 दिव्या को मिल रहा है, 1/72 मिल रहा है वरुण को, सो दिव्या के पुराने शेयर में आप ऐड कर दो, है ना, और वरुण के पुराने शेयर में आप ऐड कर दो, यू विल गेट द न्यू रेशियोस। These are the easy cases. Retirement has got easiest cases, beta. And admission has got much more cases, but retirement has got easiest cases. All the cases I have told you. What happens to goodwill at the time of retirement of a partner, beta? If a partner is retiring, you know, if a partner is leaving the firm, at that moment he is going to say that whatever goodwill you have created, right? Whatever goodwill is created of this business, I was also part of that, right? The good, let's say they were running the business from past 3 years, so they must have created a goodwill, है ना, so उसका पार्टिसिपेशन सी ने भी किया होगा, बेटा सी ने भी कोई मेहनत करी होगी गुडविल के लिए या नहीं, right? She has also participated in the creation of goodwill or not. So he'll say that if I am leaving the firm, from tomorrow you are going to earn from my contribution also, है ना, I have also contributed in this, तो मेरे contribution का पैसा तो तुम लोग भी खाओगे ना, yes or no? So goodwill is just result of joint efforts put by all partners, including outgoing partner, right? Including outgoing partner. So क्या होता है बेटा, जो गुडविल है ना, गुडविल कैसे बना होता है, गुडविल बना होता है सब पार्टनर्स के मिलाकर जो एफर्ट्स बने होते हैं, उससे गुडविल बनाया होता है, राइट। इन फ्यूचर बेनिफिट ऑफ गुडविल विल बी रिसीव्ड बाय रिमेनिंग पार्टनर। अब जो पार्टनर जा रहा है उसके हिस्से की गुडविल का फायदा रिमेनिंग पार्टनर्स आर आल्सो गोइंग टू टेक, व्हाटएवर बेनिफिट इज ऑफ रिटायरिंग पार्टनर्स गुडविल, दैट रिमेनिंग पार्टनर्स आर आल्सो गोइंग टू टेक द बेनिफिट फ्रॉम दैट। Thus, outgoing partner is to be given compensation of his share of goodwill. So that is why when he is leaving, we have to compensate him because he is leaving his goodwill with us. So when he leaves, whenever any partner leaves the firm, usko hum compensation dekar bhejenge, right? So that is why we have to do the treatment of goodwill, right? So continuing partners will compensate the retiring partner by paying goodwill in gaining ratio, right? What entry you all are going to pass? The same entry, gaining to sacrificing. How are you going to calculate the amount of goodwill? Take the value of firm's goodwill and the share of retiring partner. You will know what is the value of goodwill for retiring partner, right? So when goodwill does not exist in books, if you just have to distribute or compensate the goodwill, you will pass the entry gaining to retiring. Same entry we have been taking from all the chapters now, right? Gaining to retiring. Then, for example, let's say Suresh, Ramesh, Naresh and Mohan are partners in the firm sharing profits and losses in the ratio 2:1:2:1. On the retirement, Naresh goodwill was valued 72,000. Naresh ki goodwill was valued 72,000. Suresh, Ramesh and Mohan decided to share future profits equally. We have to pass the adjustment entry for goodwill. तो बेटा क्या हुआ कि अब एक पार्टनर है नरेश, वो रिटायर हो रहा है, ठीक है जी। अब क्या करेंगे, हम सबसे पहले कैलकुलेट करेंगे गेनिंग रेशियो। Okay, so we have old ratio and new ratio. Both ratios we have, old ratio and new ratio. If they are directly in the question, we can calculate the gain. So gain is calculated new minus old. You will get Ramesh ka share and Naresh ka share 1:1. That they will be contributing, right? So they will be contributing 72,000 is what he is expecting. His share is 2/6. So 24,000 is his share of goodwill, which will be paid by Ramesh and Mohan in equal ratio, right? In which ratio they have paid? In gain ratio. Okay. Next, if there is any old goodwill in the question, beta, so whenever we see the old goodwill, we write it off, right? Whenever we see the old goodwill, we write it off. Raise and write off is not in CBSE syllabus, right? If we see the old goodwill, we have to write it off. This is the step which you all have to. Okay, ji. But this is in syllabus that if we are raising the goodwill of retiring partner, so that means you will debit the goodwill because you are raising it, asset increases, and it will be paid by partners or contributed by partners, so partners will be credited. Later, you are going to write it off. How will you write it off? With the gaining partners capital, right? The remaining partners will compensate it. Okay, ji. When there is old goodwill, you all know from change in PSR, there is an entry all partners to goodwill. Very important, beta. This is old goodwill. This is old goodwill, which sometimes is visible in balance sheet, which sometimes is mentioned that appears in the books. Old goodwill. All these things are mentioned, so you write it off, right? Like you all can see, goodwill exists in their books. So firstly, you are going to write it off. How are you going to write it off? All partners A debit, B debit, C debit to goodwill, right? Then the new goodwill is given. So for this, you are going to pass the entry gaining to sacrificing. For gaining to sacrificing, we will need gaining ratio. है ना? Writing off is always done in old ratio. Try this question out, then we will move further. Okay, ji. Next part of retirement is that when all the remaining partners gain and goodwill exist in the books. So what happens if all the remaining partners are gaining? Okay, so A, B, C are partners sharing profits and losses in the ratio if it is 14 is to 5 is to 6. B retires for and gives 1/5 of his share to A and remaining share to C. Goodwill already exists 75,000. Okay, so this is old goodwill. Treatment of old goodwill, write it off. And on the retirement, the goodwill was valued 50. So we have to pass the sacrificing, gaining to sacrificing entry and writing off entry. So this is the writing off entry. Okay, then for the goodwill, we are going to pass from the gaining ratio, we are going to pass gaining to sacrificing. Other case which is very important that if sometimes you see the remaining partner sacrificing, है ना? कभी कभी क्या होता है कि आप गेनिंग रेशियो कैलकुलेट करते हो, है ना? गेनिंग रेशियो में क्या होता है कि गेनिंग रेशियो में हम मान के चलते हैं कि जो रिमेनिंग पार्टनर है ना वो सब गेन करेंगे, है ना? रिमेनिंग मतलब कि जो रिटायरमेंट के बाद बचने वाले हैं वो सब गेन करेंगे, ऐसा हम मान के चलते हैं. बट समटाइम्स व्हाट हैपेंस दैट some of the remaining partners could also sacrifice, right? Some of the remaining partners could also sacrifice that we find while calculating ratio. So what we have to do in that situation, we have to follow the entry gaining to sacrificing. Whoever gains will be debited, whoever sacrifices will be credited. Whether it be retiring partner, remaining partner, doesn't matter. If whoever is gaining will be debited, whoever is sacrificing will be credited. So ABC were partners in the firm sharing profits and losses in the ratio 3 is to 2 is to 1. And C retired. New profit sharing ratio between A and B is 1 is to 2. Okay, ji. C's retirement of goodwill of the firm was valued 60,000. Okay, ji. Try this out. Try this out, ji. Try to calculate the sacrificing or gaining ratio. Try to calculate the sacrificing or gaining ratio. So, when you calculate it, right, when you will calculate it, you will see that C is a retirement. And let's calculate it once. New ratio 1/3 है ना, 1/3 माइनस 3/6 एंड फॉर C retires, so 2/3 minus 2/6. Take 6 as LCM. Yeah, you can see कि there is -1/6. -1/6 for A. A is sacrificing. Yes, A is sacrificing. So you are going to credit A. Even if this is remaining to retiring, right? Even if gaining to sacrificing means remaining to retiring, but agar by chance in any situation you are seeing कि remaining partner भी sacrifice कर रहा है, so you are going to follow the entry and you are going to post as per that only. How to find hidden goodwill? Right? How to find hidden goodwill in retirement of a partner? Hidden goodwill is found by taking the difference of whatever we are paying and whatever he expected. The remaining is goodwill. Right? You all can see that C retires and his capital after making adjustment for reserves, profit on revaluation was 4,40,000. A and B agreed to pay him 5 lakh. है ना? So after adjustments we had to pay him 440, but हम उसको pay कर रहे हैं 5 lakh. So whatever extra we are paying, that is goodwill. Okay. You all can see, है ना? तो वही goodwill है. फिर उसको रेशियो में बांट कर आप एंट्री कर दो gaining to sacrificing. Yes है जी. नेक्स्ट देखिए जी. नेक्स्ट है जी आपका फेवरेट रिवैल्यूएशन अकाउंट. व्हाट इज रिवैल्यूएशन अकाउंट? इफ यू ऑल नो फ्रॉम एडमिशन दैट whenever any reconstitution situation happens, that if these three partners have been working from past 30 years, right? If these three partners have been working from past 30 years, one of the partner is retiring here, right? So let's say there was an asset of 10 lakh earlier when they started the business in the first year. Now at the time of retirement after 30 years, the value of that asset is 15 lakh, right? So this 5 lakh ka profit, है ना, this 5 lakh ka profit, है ना, let's say this partner is, ये रिटायर हो रहा है तो इसको क्या बोले, इसको बोल दो बेटा बुढ़ा बोल दो, इसको क्या बोलोगे, ये बूढ़ा हो गया है, तो इसको बूढ़ा पार्टनर जो है, ये जो बूढ़ा पार्टनर रिटायर हो रहा है, दिस पार्टनर इज रिटायरिंग, सो दिस पार्टनर द प्रॉफिट ऑफ 5 lakh, right? The booda partner has also some participation in this profit or not? है ना, because this asset was purchased when he was in the business, so he contributed. Now when he is leaving, the asset has increased, the value has increased, so he has also got some share in this profit. So before his retirement, we have to revalue all the assets and liabilities, so that if there is any increase or if there is any decrease in assets and liability, है ना, if there is any profit or if there is any loss in assets and liability, that can be compensated or that can be paid to him, or if we have to take any money from him, that is already taken, है ना, before he retires, है ना. तो अगर कोई भी प्रॉफिट कोई भी लॉस अगर बनता था, है ना, कोई भी ऐसा प्रॉफिट कोई भी लॉस अगर हुआ था जो कि पिछले सालों में उसके किसी एसेट की इंक्रीज की वजह से या एसेट की डिक्रीज की वजह से, लाइबिलिटी की इंक्रीज डिक्रीज की वजह से अगर कोई प्रॉफिट हुआ है या लॉस हुआ है, तो पार्टनर के रिटायरमेंट से पहले ही हम उसका हिसाब करते हैं, है ना. अगर उसका कोई प्रॉफिट है तो उसका प्रॉफिट में हिस्सा दे दें, उसको लॉस भरवाना है तो उससे लॉस भरवा लें, क्योंकि कल वो रिटायर हो जाएगा, फिर उसका कोई पार्टिसिपेशन कोई काम नहीं रहेगा, है ना. तो वो प्रॉफिट अगर कोई हुआ है तो वो प्रॉफिट वो डिजर्व करता है, वो जस्टिस यही है कि वो प्रॉफिट में बेनिफिट में उसको हिस्सा मिले. कोई लॉस हुआ है तो तब भी जस्टिस यही है कि वो अपना लॉस पे करके जाए, जो बाकी पार्टनर्स हैं उनके सिर पे वो लॉस ना आए. गुड इवनिंग गर्ल, हाउ आर यू? Right? So revaluation of assets and liabilities. At the time of revaluation, book value of all the assets are brought to their true and fair values, so that we can distribute if there is any gain or we can take if there is any loss. So for that purpose, है ना, for revaluing, right? For revaluing the assets and liabilities, we create this revaluation account, right? We create this revaluation account. This is totally live, Garg. I can see your messages and respond on that. So revaluation account is created for assets and liabilities, है ना, for revaluing, है ना. So this is a kind of revaluation account is kind of a nominal account. Expenses debited, incomes credited. That means सारे के सारे दुख जो है डेबिट कर दो, जो जो फायदे हैं खुशी है उसको क्रेडिट कर दो. कैसे होगा जी, देखो, है ना. फॉर्मेट 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 कहाँ है, फॉर्मेट फॉर्मेट नहीं है, ये रहा कमांड देखो सीधा, राइट, कि इफ वी आर गेटिंग डिक्रीज इन एसेट्स तो दैट इज लॉस, दैट इज सैडनेस, है ना, कोई सैड बात है तो डेबिट कर दो भाई, एसेट घट गया तो सैड होगे ना, इफ द एसेट डिक्रीजेस यू आर गोइंग टू बी सैड, इफ लायबिलिटी इंक्रीजेस यू आर गोइंग टू बी सैड, इफ यू फाउंड एनी अनरिकॉर्डेड लायबिलिटी यू आर गोइंग टू बी सैड, है ना, इफ यू हैव टू गिव रेम्यूनरेशन एक्सपेंस है यू विल बी डेबिटिंग इट, है ना, इफ पार्टनर्स इफ एसेट्स आर इंक्रीजिंग क्रेडिट इट, if liabilities are decreasing credited, if you found any unrecorded assets suddenly, जैसे पॉकेट में से पैसे मिल जाते हैं ना कभी कभी, बहुत दिनों बाद जैकेट पहनते हो और पॉकेट में से पैसे बाहर आ जाते हैं, so yeah you are going to be happy, right, so all these things can make the revaluation credit, and if there is any expense or if there is any loss, all those things you will be debiting. And in the end, you are going to take the balancing figure. If you get it on the debit side, it's your profit. If you're getting on the credit side, it's your loss. Whatever it is, it will be distributed among old partners. That means all partners, right? All partners in old ratio, right? Okay, ji. For example, you all can see that rent receivable to extent of 10,000 were unrecorded. Rent which was to be received, right? Rent which was to be received. So this is your income. है ना, this is your income, so you are going to credit it. Okay जी. Furniture reduced by 10%, है ना, it's a loss, debited. Provision, debited. Land and building was appreciated by 20%, credited. Being a claim for damages will be created, loss आ गया जी, liability आ गई, debit, है ना. Unrecorded outstanding expenses, oh ho, debited, right. So from the balance sheet, we will take the value of building, we will do the 10% and 5% on furniture, building, and the provision. Then we post the item of profit, हम credit कर देंगे. All the expenses we will debit. Balancing figure will be distributed among partners. Correct? Yes or no? So if there are any accumulated profits or losses, sometimes you all will see that the balance sheet has got some old profits, old losses, right? So those old profits or losses are also distributed before the retirement of a partner. Sometimes we keep some accumulated profits into the business, है ना, हम profits इकट्ठा कर करके रख लेते हैं business में, तो वो इकट्ठे किए हुए profits को हम क्या कर देते हैं, फिर partners में बांट देते हैं, है ना, retirement होने से पहले. So you all can count this session as a one-shot conceptual session, yeah, one-shot conceptual session. Question session, important question sessions we will be bringing up soon. So what types of undistributed profits losses you all can find? है ना, general reserve, reserve fund, workman compensation fund, P&L, all these profits you can find. Okay जी. So where will you find it? They will appear on the liability side of balance sheet. Profits will appear on the liability side of balance sheet, and liabilities on credits on asset side. How are we going to distribute it? We are going to give the old profits or losses to partners in old ratio, to all partners in old ratio. If there is any loss, the entry will be P&L. All partners debit to P&L, and if you're giving them whatever is the profit name or whatever is the reserve name, that will be debited, partners will be credited. Next is WCR, Workman Compensation Reserve, is the compensation which we keep aside out of profits to meet the possible liability to compensate the employees or workers if anybody gets injured or anything happens to any of the workmen while working. So to compensate them, we create a reserve, WCR. We have understood this in the last chapter. Change in PSR, we understood it. And change in PSR, I told you that this is going to remain same for the further chapters. So watch that. Okay, watch that video. IFR is also another reserve which is created to compensate or to cover the fluctuation in investment, right? So that is other kind of reserve. Okay ji. Then next is our favorite comprehensive sum, full-fledged question, right? How to create and how to solve full-fledged question? Of course, firstly make the accounts and post the opening balance. What accounts you will have to create in full-fledged ones? Revaluation, right? Then partners capital, then balance sheet. Okay, then revaluation account does not have any opening closing balance, so you can just start with the expenses and losses. Partners capital opening closing balance will be given to you in the question. If it is a credit balance, you will mention it on the credit side. If it is debit balance, you will mention it on the debit side. This is how, of course, the full-fledged questions are started. Then mark the items in balance sheet given in the question having adjustment, right? Whatever items have adjustments, read the question and then the adjustment, right? So you can put the items which are have adjustments in red, right? So as like assets are revalued, stock is revalued, so put stock in red, machinery in red, right? Whatever things are getting changed, debtors are getting changed, RDD we have to maintain, creditors are getting changed. So whatever items we have to make adjustments in, just mark them. This is how we solve a full-fledged question, right? Then give the effects. Firstly, we will give the effects in revaluation, then other effect in balance sheet. You all must be knowing that the items which are given to you in the balance sheet, they have only one effect, right? Items which are in balance sheet, they have only one effect. But the items in adjustments, they have always two effects, right? Items in adjustments, they have always two effects. So whatever adjustments you are getting, they will affect revaluation as well as balance sheet. This is how you solve a full-fledged question, right? Then give effects or pass the journal entries. After that, what you have to do, close the revaluation, find the profit or loss, whatever it is, transfer it to partner's capital. Then after transferring everything to partner's capital, if there is any old profit, old loss, give that also to partners. After that, you can close the partner's capital, whatever balance you are getting, transfer it to balance sheet in capital, right? If question is silent about retiring partners share, retiring partners balancing figure, it will be transferred to retiring partners loan account, है ना? यहाँ पे क्या होता है बेटा, जब आप टू बैलेंस कैरेट डाउन फाइंड करते हो पार्टनर्स कैपिटल में, तो जो पार्टनर रह रहे हैं उनका तो बैलेंस कैरेट डाउन में ही आएगा, रिटायरिंग पार्टनर का लोन अकाउंट में आ जाएगा, ठीक है जी? उसके बाद आप जो बैलेंसिंग फिगर बचेगा वो बैलेंस शीट में चिपका दीजिए और बैलेंस शीट का टोटल लीजिए, है ना? फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक क्वेश्चन आपके सामने आ गया, अब देखो ये एडजस्टमेंट्स हैं, प्रोवाइड फॉर डाउटफुल डेट्स 5% है ना ऑन सन्ड्री डेटर्स, तो यहाँ पे चेंज करना है, ठीक है जी? और स्टॉक में चेंज करना है हमें, मशीनरी में चेंज करना है, बिल्डिंग में चेंज करना है, उसके बाद गुडविल की एडजस्टमेंट करनी है, और ये क्वेश्चन में हमें क्या क्या बनाना है, रिवैल्यूएशन पार्टनर्स कैपिटल बैलेंस शीट। तो अगर हम डाउटफुल डेट्स का हमें प्रोविजन बनाना है तो ये क्या हो गया, खर्चा है तो डेबिट होगा, स्टॉक रिड्यूस हो रहा है, मशीनरी रिड्यूस हो रही है, डेबिट होगा, बिल्डिंग रीवैल्यू होकर इंक्रीज हो गई, देखो पहले एक 40 की थी अब 151 की हो गई, तो क्रेडिट होगा, है ना? तो ये तीनों आइटम्स हम पोस्ट करते हैं, आ जाओ रिवैल्यूएशन में। सबसे पहले 5% तो बनाते हैं सन्ड्री डेटर्स पे अपना प्रोविजन, राइट? 5% कितना हो गया जी, 4500 का आपने रिवैल्यूएशन बनाया। उसके बाद देखो 5% से स्टॉक घट गया, मशीनरी घट गई 10% से, सो लो जी 3500 से स्टॉक घट गया, स्टॉक और मशीनरी घट गई 6000 से। बिल्डिंग कितने से इंक्रीज हुई है जी, बिल्डिंग इंक्रीज हुई है 11000 से, सो आपने बिल्डिंग इंक्रीज कर दी। दोनों साइड का टोटल लो, क्रेडिट साइड का टोटल ज्यादा आ रहा है या डेबिट का ज्यादा आ रहा है, डेबिट का ज्यादा आ रहा है 14000, तो क्रेडिट में बच गई बैलेंसिंग फिगर, तो वो आपका लॉस है। अब हम क्या करेंगे, अब हम बनाएंगे पार्टनर्स कैपिटल। पार्टनर्स कैपिटल बनाने के लिए ओपनिंग बैलेंसेस लेकर जाएंगे यहाँ से 1 लाख 1 लाख 1 लाख, और ये लॉस को यहाँ पर ट्रांसफर कर देंगे। अब इसके बाद गुडविल की एंट्री क्रिएट करेंगे कि गुडविल फर्म की थी 1.5 लाख, 1.5 लाख गुडविल थी, इसको हम क्या करेंगे, 1.5 लाख गुडविल थी, रिटायरिंग पार्टनर है जी, जी हो जाता है रिटायर, है ना? जी का शेयर कितना है 1/6, है ना? जी के पास शेयर कितना है 1/6 शेयर है। अब इसका जो शेयर है वो शेयर हम बांट देंगे, कैसे, वो शेयर हम बांट देंगे इनके गेनिंग रेशियो में। गेनिंग रेशियो में बांटोगे तो आपकी एंट्री बन जाएगी और वो एंट्री आप यहाँ पर पोस्ट कर दोगे, ठीक है जी? उसके अलावा हम बैलेंस शीट में देखेंगे कोई पुराना प्रॉफिट कोई पुराना लॉस है क्या, तो पुराना प्रॉफिट हमें मिलेगा जनरल रिजर्व, वो जनरल रिजर्व हम बांट देंगे कौन से रेशियो में, ओल्ड रेशियो में, तो ओल्ड रेशियो में उसको बांटिए, टोटल लीजिए तीनों की तीनों साइड्स का, जिस तरफ भी बैलेंसिंग बच रहा है वहां पे आप लिखोगे टू बैलेंस कैरेट डाउन, बैलेंसिंग फिगर मेंशन करोगे रिमेनिंग पार्टनर्स की, रिटायरिंग की मेंशन करोगे लोन अकाउंट के नाम से, और ये सारी जो फिगर्स हैं ये ट्रांसफर करेंगे अब बैलेंस शीट में। बैलेंस शीट जब हम बनाएंगे तो बैलेंस शीट बनाते टाइम अब जनरल रिजर्व हम बांट चुके हैं, ये नहीं रहेगा। सन्ड्री क्रेडिटर्स ऐसे के ऐसे ही चले जाएंगे, है ना। कैपिटल अकाउंट नए वाले जो बैलेंस शीट से हमने लिए, और ये ऐसे के ऐसे, और इनकी चेंज्ड वैल्यूज देखो जी कैसे चेंज होगी। देखो सन्ड्री क्रेडिटर्स कैश इन हैंड, कैश एट बैंक सेम। स्टॉक इन हैंड घटने के बाद, डेटर्स में प्रोविजन घटने के बाद, मशीनरी घटने के बाद, बिल्डिंग बढ़ने के बाद, और जी का लोन जो रिटायरिंग पार्टनर का लोन है और कैपिटल बैलेंसिंग फिगर्स जो यहाँ से हमने उठाए ये ट्रांसफर कर दो, टोटल लोगे दोनों सेम आ जाएंगे। हाय प्रियांशु, यस टेल मी। ओके जी, नेक्स्ट टॉपिक आ जाता है हमारे पास, द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक विच इज एडजस्टमेंट ऑफ कैपिटल। समटाइम्स क्या होता है बेटा, पार्टनर्स को चाहिए होता है कि हमारी कैपिटल ना एडजस्ट करनी है ना, हमारी ना कैपिटल एडजस्ट कर दो। कैपिटल एडजस्ट कैसे कर दूं कि भाई जो हमारी कैपिटल बैलेंसिंग फिगर निकल कर आ रही है ना, हमें वो नहीं चाहिए, हमें कोई और बैलेंसिंग फिगर चाहिए। अच्छा जी, तो वो इसको बोलते हैं एडजस्टमेंट ऑफ कैपिटल। दैट द रिमेनिंग और कंटिन्यूइंग पार्टनर्स में डिसाइड that their capitals after retirement shall be in proportion to their profit sharing ratio। कि हमें तो ये जो रेशियो आ रही है ना, ये जो हमारी बैलेंसिंग फिगर आ रही है ये नहीं चाहिए, हमें कोई और चाहिए, या फिर हमें न्यू प्रॉफिट शेयरिंग रेशियो में इसको बांट कर दो, है ना। तो ऐसे में क्या होता है कि जो आपकी पुरानी कैपिटल होती है और जो आपको कैपिटल चाहिए होती है, उसमें अगर पैसे बढ़ाने हैं तो पार्टनर्स पैसे ले आते हैं, और अगर उसमें पैसे घटाने हैं तो पार्टनर्स पैसे अपने विड्रॉ कर लेते हैं। राइट, दिस इज व्हाट एडजस्टमेंट ऑफ कैपिटल इज। राइट, है ना। यस टेल मी ब्रांचू, व्हाट इज द डाउट। ओके, सो इसमें क्या होता है कि दोबारा से इसको समझो कि समटाइम्स पार्टनर्स डिसाइड दैट व्हाट एवर कैपिटल बैलेंसिंग फिगर दे हैव, दे डोंट लाइक इट, दे वांट द अदर बैलेंसिंग फिगर। सो व्हाट दे डू, दे adjust it by bringing some cash or withdrawing cash if whatever is needed, they do that thing for them, है ना। सो वी हैव 5 केसेस फॉर एडजस्टमेंट ऑफ कैपिटल, है ना। सबसे ज्यादा रिटायरमेंट नहीं है। सो पहला केस है व्हेन टोटल कैपिटल ऑफ द फर्म इज गिवन। राइट, सो व्हाट समटाइम्स अब आपके पास क्या होता है कि कभी कैपिटल आपको दे देते हैं, वो जो कैपिटल आपको क्वेश्चन मांग रहा है वो कैपिटल दे देते हैं, तो उसमें क्या करना है। केस 1, व्हेन टोटल कैपिटल ऑफ द फर्म इज गिवन, first step is find the adjusted capital of remaining partners। first step is find the balancing figure of partners capital। Right, first step is find the balancing figure of partners capital, then find the proportionate capital of remaining partners on the basis of total capital। तो अब इसमें क्या करना है, आप क्या करोगे, आप बैलेंसिंग फिगर लोगे पार्टनर्स कैपिटल की, और अपनी टोटल कैपिटल जो क्वेश्चन में दी हुई है उसको न्यू रेशियो में बांट दोगे, दोनों को कंपेयर करोगे। अगर सरप्लस है ना, अगर सरप्लस है तो आप क्या करोगे, पार्टनर्स के पास अगर ऑलरेडी एक्स्ट्रा पैसा है तो जो एक्स्ट्रा है वो विड्रॉ कर लेंगे, अगर कम पड़ रहा है तो पार्टनर्स ले आएंगे। मान लो कि बैलेंसिंग फिगर आई 10,000, 20,000, 30,000। राइट, दिस इज व्हाट दे गॉट एज द बैलेंसिंग फिगर कि ये हमारे पास पैसा है। हमें चाहिए जो कैपिटल, उसको बोला जाता है एडजस्टेड कैपिटल। हमें चाहिए कैपिटल मान लो 15 और 25 और 38। सो जो कैपिटल चाहिए उसके लिए हम फिर कैश पार्टनर से मंगा लेंगे कि जो भी पार्टनर है इसको 8 के लेकर आना पड़ेगा, इसको 5 के लेकर आना पड़ेगा, इसको 5 के लेकर आना पड़ेगा, और जो भी पैसा ये लेकर आएंगे वो हम कैश अकाउंट से डेबिट क्रेडिट कर देंगे। अगर ले जा रहे हैं तो फिर क्रेडिट, और ला रहे हैं तो डेबिट। ठीक है जी। नेक्स्ट, व्हेन टोटल कैपिटल ऑफ द फर्म इज गिवन, ये तो हो गया। नेक्स्ट एंट्री क्या होती है, अगर पैसे लेकर आ रहे हैं, है ना, तो बैंक टू कंसर्न पार्टनर, इफ अगर वो लेकर जा रहे हैं तो बैंक डिक्रीज होगा, then bank will be credited। if total capital of remaining partners is to be in their new PSR। अगर क्वेश्चन ये लाइन देता है एडजस्टमेंट की तो क्या करना है, अगर ये लाइन आ जाती है एडजस्टमेंट की, सो अगेन यू हैव टू फाइंड द एडजस्टेड कैपिटल। व्हाट इज एडजस्टेड कैपिटल, बैलेंसिंग फिगर ऑफ पार्टनर्स कैपिटल, है ना। फाइंड इट आउट, राइट इट इन योर नोट्स, राइट इट इन योर वर्किंग नोट्स। नाउ व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, the capital which you find, है ना, take the total of that and divide that in new ratio। right, what are they saying कि जो भी कैपिटल है, जो भी ये कैपिटल है ये न्यू रेशियो में बांट के लगा दो, हमें ऐसे नहीं चाहिए। तो आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, आपके पास जो कैपिटल है आप उसका टोटल लोगे, उसको न्यू रेशियो में बांट दोगे। न्यू रेशियो में बांटने के बाद दोनों का कंपैरिजन कर लोगे, जो भी सरप्लस डेफिसिट है वो पार्टनर्स ले आएंगे या ले जाएंगे। अच्छा, केस नंबर 3, when total capital of new firm is equal to total capital before retirement. If the partners they want the old capital to be the new capital, old capital मतलब जो capital balance sheet में दी हुई है ना, उनको वही चाहिए अभी। तो अगेन आप क्या करोगे, आप एडजस्टेड कैपिटल निकालोगे, ठीक है जी। एडजस्टेड कैपिटल निकालने के बाद जो आपकी अभी वाली कैपिटल है उसको बांट दोगे न्यू रेशियो में, दोनों का कंपैरिजन करोगे, जो भी डेफिसिट सरप्लस है वो पार्टनर से कवर करा लोगे। Case number 3, where retiring partner is to be paid from amount brought by remaining partners in a manner that their capital is proportionate to new PSR. कह रहे हैं कि अगर ये लाइन आ जाती है क्वेश्चन में एडजस्टमेंट करने के लिए, दैट मीन्स उसका मतलब क्या है, उसका मतलब ये है कि अब क्या करना है, आपने रिटायरिंग पार्टनर को हमने कुछ पैसा देना था, वो भी हम मंगाएंगे रिमेनिंग पार्टनर्स से, है ना, वो भी रिमेनिंग पार्टनर से मंगाएंगे और कैपिटल की एडजस्टमेंट भी कराएंगे। तो इसमें क्या करना है, इसमें आप कैपिटल ले लो अपनी और उसमें जितना भी पैसा आपने पे करना है रिटायरिंग पार्टनर को वो जोड़ दो, वो जोड़ने के बाद उसको न्यू पीएसआर में बांटो, एडजस्टेड कैपिटल और ये नई कैपिटल का कंपैरिजन कर लो, यू विल गेट द सरप्लस डेफिसिट। केस ई, केस ई में क्या होता है, केस ई बोलता है अगर ये वाली लाइन आ जाए, केस ई बोलता है कि आपको जो है रिटायरिंग पार्टनर के लिए पैसा भी लाना है ना, कैपिटल का रेशियो में भी एडजस्टमेंट करना है और साथ के साथ एक कैश बैलेंस भी बचाना है। कैश बैलेंस का मतलब है कि थोड़ा सा कैश में से पैसा यूज कर सकते हो। अगेन कुछ नहीं करना, कुछ तो करना है, एडजस्टेड कैपिटल निकालोगे पहले और क्या करोगे, एग्रीगेट लोगे अपनी कैपिटल का, ठीक है, शॉर्टेज ऐड करोगे और जितना भी पैसा कैश में से यूज कर सकते हैं वो हटा के जो बचेगा वो न्यू पीएसआर में बांट दो, दोनों को कंपेयर कर लो, पता चल जाएगा व्हाट इज रिक्वायर्ड फ्रॉम पार्टनर्स और व्हाट इज नॉट रिक्वायर्ड फ्रॉम पार्टनर्स। So this is how adjustment of capital is done, राइट। तो अगर हम एक एग्जांपल देखें, है ना, कि आशा, तनीषा, वरुण वर पार्टनर शेयरिंग प्रॉफिट्स एंड लॉसेस इन द रेशियो 4:3:2। तनीषा रिटायर्ड ऑन द डेट, ऑन दैट डेट आशा, तनीषा, वरुण, है ना, आशा, तनीषा, वरुण जो है आफ्टर ऑल एडजस्टमेंट stood 39,300, 39,600, 18,300। सो आशा, तनीषा, वरुण, है ना, their capitals were 39,300, 39,600, 18,300। Total capital of firm was newly constituted is fixed 56,000। The question has given you that total capital जो है वो कितनी होनी चाहिए, 56,000 होनी चाहिए, है ना। क्वेश्चन हैज ऑलरेडी मेंशन्ड दैट जो आपकी टोटल कैपिटल है वो कितनी होनी चाहिए, 56 होनी चाहिए, है ना। रिटायर कौन हो रहा है इनमें से, हाँ, आशा एंड वरुण रह रहे हैं, जो ये तनीषा है ये यहाँ पर क्या हो रही है बेटा, रिटायर हो रही है, ठीक है जी। सो 56,000 है हमारे पास, ठीक है। 56,000 को अगर हम डिवाइड करें, है ना, इन दोनों में, इनके न्यू रेशियो में 35,000 और 21,000 बनेगा, है ना। अब कैपिटल एडजस्टमेंट, ये कैपिटल हमारे पास है, द कैपिटल विच वी हैव एंड दिस इज द कैपिटल विच वी नीड, right? Capital which we have and capital which we need. So this is what you have, this is what you need. So if you have 39,300 और आपको 35,000 करना है तो आपके पास ऑलरेडी ज्यादा है ना, ऑलरेडी ज्यादा है, तो आप क्या करो, विड्रॉ कर लो, है ना, माइनस कर दो। और यहाँ पे क्या है, यहाँ पे भी आपको कितना चाहिए, यहाँ पर पैसे लेकर आने पड़ेंगे, ठीक है, तो बस यहाँ पे प्लस कर दो कैश, करेक्ट है जी। सो 4,300 यहाँ पर क्या होगा, 4,300 आशा को जो है, आशा के पास कितने थे, आशा को चाहिए 35, ऑलरेडी 39,300 है, तो क्या होगा 4,300 वो विड्रॉ कर लेगी। वरुण को लेकर आने हैं तो कैश अकाउंट डेबिट हो जाएगा और यहाँ पे कैश अकाउंट क्रेडिट हो जाएगा, ठीक है जी। ऐसे ही क्वेश्चन दूसरा एग्जाम्पल हो गया कि बोल रहे हैं कि ये जो इनकी कैपिटल है ना, इस कैपिटल को ही आप टोटल करके न्यू रेशियो में बांटो और जो भी पैसा है वो एडजस्ट करो। तो एक हमारे पास कैपिटल जो है वो ये हो गई, ठीक है, उसको हमने क्या बांट दिया, फिर न्यू रेशियो में बांट दिया, कंपेयर कर लो, जिसको जितना कैश मंगाना है जिससे वो मंगा लो। इस तरीके से एडजस्टमेंट ऑफ कैपिटल के क्वेश्चंस बेटा किए जाएंगे, ठीक है जी। क्वेश्चंस के लिए प्रॉपर अलग से क्लास रखेंगे, ओके जी। अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट वी हैव अ स्पेशल अनाउंसमेंट फॉर यू ऑल that we have a new upcoming batch starting on 9th of December, which is Commerce Accelerate batch, which is a revision batch, right? Which is a revision batch plus a crash course for CUET, right? So crash course for CBSE Commerce and CUET you all will be getting in this batch. So this is a total package batch for you all. If you all want to join in, yeah, please feel free to click on the link in description. Let me tell you what features you all will be getting in this batch. So this batch is about the preparation of your further टाइम सीबीएसई बोर्ड का जितना टाइम बचा है उसकी तैयारी आपको हम लोग कराएंगे फटाफट से स्टार्टिंग से दोबारा है ना रिवीजन क्रैश कोर्स एंड ऑल्सो विद दैट वी विल बी गिविंग यू द सीयूटी आफ्टर boards, right? What you will be getting, you will be getting live master teachers classes and live doubt solving, handwritten notes by master teachers, regular notes and assignments, complete CUET preparation we will be giving to you in this batch, right? 16 part test, 16 or 12 full test of CUET, 8 part and 8 full mock test of boards. Apart from that, what subjects you will be getting? You will be getting accounts, BST, economics, mathematics in your board preparation. In CUET, you will be getting accounts, BST, eco, mental and numerical ability, English, GK, and current affairs. Right? Who will be teaching you all? These are the teachers. Business studies will be taught by Shruti Ma'am. Accounts will be taught by Ridhi Ma'am, which is sitting in front of you. Economics will be taught by Dimple Ma'am. And economics, we have two teachers, Diksha Ma'am also. And numerical ability will be taught by Shivanshu sir. Yeah, this is me. This is about all the teachers. If you all want to know that about how the teachers done, we promise you that we provide you the bestest teachers ever. Right? You all can see that they have the bestest qualifications. They have 17, 17, 10, 10 years of experience. Right? So you don't have to be worried about their teachers' experience or teachers' lack of anything. There's nothing like that. Yeah, you are going to get the best teachers, best qualities, best content. Yeah, these are the champions who performed amazingly last year. Pranshu scored 98%, Raghav 97%, Keerti 97%, Suresh 96.6%, Shreya 95.8%. Right? And these are the other champions who made us proud and scored amazingly. Right? So, yeah, if you all want to join in into this batch, what you all can do, you all can go in the description. You all will find the link and you can click on that. If you just want to get the information, there is an information link also. Right? So you can get information from that. So yeah, guys, this much only they will be covering for today. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining in. Thank you so much for listening. I will be seeing you all in the next class with the next important topic. Tab tak